Greater than 2. Okay? That's it. Is it? Is it the same? Okay, 4D. 4D, we want no real roots. What does that mean? Discriminant must be less than 0. Okay, fill in. So Jeffrey, what are the number? What's the first number? Negative P. Minus 4A. What's A? C is, yeah. Okay, we'll simplify it. So negative P squared is just P squared. And then? So plus 16 less than 0, P squared is less than negative 16. Now for this one, we should be thinking about outside or inside? In between, right? In between the roots. What are the roots? What number squared can give you negative 16? No roots, right? What does that mean then?
Undefined.
Undefined. So there's no P. There's no way you can find a P, put it in, and square it to be smaller than negative 16. Because any number squared is always positive, right? How can you find a P value squared and then become smaller than negative? So P is undefined. Okay? Sure, we'll look at 4C first, right? You asked 4C? Okay. For 4C, B squared minus 4AC has to be what, Dominic?
3x squared.
No, I'm saying if it's no real root, right? The discriminant must be
Less than 0.
yeah. So this is the discriminant, right? B squared minus 4AC is the discriminant. So what goes in here?
3x squared.
Here should be the B. Which one is the B? Which one is the B? While doing this question. Is that a question you're asking?
-4.
Yeah, so you should put -4. And what's the A?
3.
Okay, and what's the C?
2 bracket p plus 2.
Okay, so we'll just multiply that in. Okay, so it'll be 2P plus 4. Make sense? So from here, you just simplify it first. Isolate P. And that's it. Okay? So Dominic, how do we simplify it?
16.
Yeah?
And,
Multiply it out. $16 and then
24.
minus 24 P and then minus 48 and then less than 0. So from here, do you know how to isolate P? Isolate means you move things over, right? Which ones will go over? Sure, negative 24. Let's keep the P on the left side, okay? 16 you move over, negative 48 you move over. Okay? Isolate is like solve for x. Okay? So negative 24P is less than not negative 32. These two will be negative 32, but you move over will be positive 32. Okay? Add the 48 and then subtract 16. Do you follow? The negative 24 move over becomes, and 16 goes over, so they subtract, right? Get 32. Yeah, and then what do you do next? You want to solve for P. How do you solve for P? By, you want to get rid of this, so you should divide by, no, you want to isolate, right? Isolate this one, so you should divide by negative 24. It's like solve for x, right? So these two will cancel out. And when you divide by negative, you need to flip. Okay? Flip the inequality. So P will become greater than something. Okay? Understand? Okay? It's same as solving equation. Just watch out for flipping. Okay? Yeah.
But then do I have to write P is greater than 3 over 4?
That's it. You just box that.
How come I don't have to do
The inside outside? Because that you don't have the square, right? You only do that if you reach to a point that you have square.
Oh.
Then you have two roots.
But if I don't have a square.
Then it's just very simple.
Okay.
4b. Let me check. B squared minus 4a. Okay, and then you move this over. What is that? Is that negative 9? Yeah, that's fine. That's the answer. D is bigger than 2. With the P, you want to make this thing that's so if you pick anything bigger than give me a number that's bigger.
What is your? Oh, the 5 and 11 thing.
Yes. Go away. Take 1. It's easier. So 1 is bigger than that. So
But
if you
just
put 1
did,
into here,
it did have a big
right?
point.
E is 1. So that means this is 3. Right? 3 and negative 3 and 1. Then this one is the equation we have imagined. And saying that how to make the original question imaginable. Okay? And this one is last one. So you can check this
That's
out.
gonna go.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
She says there's a she's talking about sauce.
It's been an improvement.
Okay, are we done? Okay. And homework 7.
There's two of us.
Homework 7.
Okay, he's like,
Why?
Oh, okay, never mind.
and she's like, he gets embarrassed. And so there's that in grade 7. And then, Nathan, we were just good friends. I just started making fun of us.
Wow.
I don't know what else he just stopped talking. So now he's like, he's like, the rest of the he's like one of the worst players.
If you use negative I'll let you fix it. Okay. Don't use it again like everything wrong.
Let's take
Okay.
things fun.
I'll give you an extension.
After you're
And then
done.
next time. Alright.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's all I didn't realize.
Okay. This table.
So, and, homework 5 corrections, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, did I not bring them?
He told us,
Well, I have one.
I mean, it depends on what you're.
Then like, then it should be.
Yeah.
I know this line is.
I left the correction and I only have one.
You got stapler?
Can I give it to you this week?
Huh?
You
Oh,
saw
yeah,
us corrections last class.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I showed you.
Can I get yours?
I have corrections.
Okay.
I'll show them again next week.
And then like, and then a year after. And a year after.
Okay, ready? Okay.
You would let me live it like.
Those are good.
Second, everyone.
Those are gonna be my trigger numbers.
You can tell you the teacher was yeah, look at
Standing on
I still use it against you to this day.
Because he was ranting about how Andrew Garfield's the best actor ever.
Where's he?
I mean, there was some questionable
You're the one who said.
That's the only.
What are you talking about?
Your opinion is invalid.
Literally everyone
today.
like literally everyone.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then he was just like, oh, he's of course he can't act.
Okay, hello. Quiet down, please. Okay, so today we are starting a new chapter. Since next week, right, we have a test. I'll talk about the test later, okay? Go over what's gonna be covered and what you can do to review, okay? So the chapter that we're going to do is, John, okay, is the first one, page 1. Or going back.
It's the most useless thing.
I want to sing.
You'll never use this ever again. A lot of English. You'll never use this in your life ever again.
Oh my.
It's so useless.
Actually,
It's really
sequence and series is the most applicable.
Well, how come we're not reviewing for it's called problem?
No, that's fine.
Wait, are we gonna start getting back?
Because I need to move on, learn new things. Okay, can I have your attention now? Okay, So sequence and series, let's understand the meaning of it. What's the difference between these two words?
A sequence is like a package. A series is a package you stack all together.
Okay, let's write that down. Okay, sequence is a set of numbers if they are arranged in a pattern. Right, a specific pattern. In this chapter, we'll be learning two kinds of pattern. Okay? If they are arranged in a pattern, then the set of number is called sequence. Okay, think about Harry Potter series.
I never watched.
I never read
watched.
Do they call it Harry Potter sequence?
Yes.
No, they say Harry Potter series. Because series means all together. We call that a series. So series is adding up, but sequence is just one by one. John. Okay? Each number is called a term. A term. Okay? For example, first term, third term. And the formula that can generate the term, right? Because it has pattern, right? So we should have a formula that can find any term. It's called general term. General, kind of like general form, right? So general term means it's a formula, you can use it, and then you can find, let's say, the 70th term, right? Or 17th, right? Or 8th term, any term you want. Okay, so instead of going to here, okay, we're going to start with skip a couple pages and then learn one kind of pattern, okay, because it's arranging a pattern. So I want to go to page 10.
Wow, that's a long jump.
Don't worry, it'll come back, okay?
Geometric sequence.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, because someone here is having a test on geometry, so I want to start with this. But it's okay, right? It's independent. We can understand.
But I have a test.
Okay, so sequence, right? It's a set of number that has pattern, and the pattern here is called geometric. Circle this word. So it will be called geometric if, let's say that. Okay, everyone together. The ratio, everyone.
The ratio
Between any. Okay, constant means what? Write it down. Never changes. Ratio means you divide them, right? For example, 2 to 5, that's a ratio, right? So ratio between the neighboring term means the terms next to each other. What does T2 represent? What's the meaning of that symbol? Yeah, write it down. This means second term. This means A represent the first term. Okay, just different symbols. So this is not T times 2, okay? It's just a subscript. Okay, T2. Term number 2. Now here you have to watch out for something very important, okay? We'll write it on the top. If I have T7, this number is called the place. It's like the seating number, right? You go to the movie theater, right? You go to watch a play, right? Or airplane seat, right? So this is in the 7th place. This whole thing, let's say T7 is 11. This number is called the term. So it's like the person sitting there. Because they are both numbers, okay, it's easy to mix up. Okay? One is called the place, the other one is called the term. Okay, term and place, very different meaning. Okay? So if they all divide and get the same number, that number is called the common ratio. Okay, it's over here. the number that's always the same, okay, when you divide. So over here, that we'll try a couple questions. Let's do a question B. Okay, what is the common ratio over here? How did you get that? Yeah, so you can take second one, divide by the first one, right? Or you can do third one, divide by second one. Doesn't matter. You just take the two of them, but don't divide the other way. And it has to be the next one divided by previous. Okay? So the ratio is -4. So if I know the ratio is -4, right, then I can figure out the next term, right? So what will be the T, what's the next one? T what? T5 is 512, is it? Are you sure?
Oh, no, yeah.
Okay. Okay. T6, let's get one more. 2048.
Negative.
Okay, negative. Make sense? Okay, you just times -4 each time. Okay, let's try one that has roots. Okay. What's the ratio here?
I literally just did radical.
You just did radical.
Oh,
What over what?
Negative.
Which one over which one? -3√2. Okay, let's get the T. What's the T? What? T4.
72.
Okay, let other people do it. Okay. One T4, and then T5. So, Brandon, what's T4? 9. You use the ratio, and then what do you do to get the next term? Multiply, right? Multiply is like jumping, right? Taking the steps.
Inside, outside.
-36 times the ratio.
It's just 36 times -3.
So this number times this number, okay? Because this one is not in the root, you don't touch the inside.
108.
Yeah, 108√2.
Right? Those two. I honestly.
108.
Good. Okay. Now, if I want to get to the next one, Gina, what should we do? Yeah. Can you get the answer for us?
It's 2.
Wait for answer.
Yes, what's
102 times 3 is, what's 108 times 3?
There's 320. No, it's a rhetorical question.
324, and then √2 times √2 is actually 2, right?
Yeah.
So you just double it.
Yeah.
So answer is
-648. That one. -648.
good. Okay. Okay. So next one. Yeah, -68. Okay, given the general term. Okay, so this is the first time we see this word in the question, right? Who remember what general term means?
formula?
A formula that what?
I forgot what the other part was.
Formula that generates each term.
Any term, right? So it's like a machine.
And you wrote each term.
Each term, yeah, generate any term we want. So from here, so this is what general term will look like, okay? So if I want to use this formula and write the first term, so let's say we start with T1. T1 means first term, right? Sometimes we use letter A to represent. I know you have learned it, but let other people have chance. But I appreciate your input. You're so enthusiastic today. Okay, so that means n is 1, right? So we put 1 in to the n.
And then at 1 then?
So that will be our shorter step, okay? 5 times 2 to the,
1 minus 1.
which is 0, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So even if you've learned it, right, still pay attention. So first term is 5.
I'm writing down the answer for you.
Calm down. T2, how do we get T2? 5 times 2 to the 1, right? Because 2 minus 1 is 1. 10, right? Now you start to see the pattern. What's the common ratio?
Oh,
5. Each time you multiply by 2, right? So next one, T3, we can go faster now. T3 will be 20, T4 will be 40, right? Ratio is 2. Okay? Once you get first couple of them, then you know the ratio. All right, let's try question D. So T1. So I put 1 into the K, right? Because it's using K now, right? Negative 1 over 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1, actually, right? Anybody got first term? Yeah. Huh? Negative 16, is it right? Yeah, okay. Negative exponent, what does it do? Point to K. Okay, so we'll flip it. Yeah, a weird one.
It works. I tried to explain
still
to my
remember it.
teacher.
Wait, what play next? What play taking? Can you teach me?
Okay, so this, think of the negative sign as like a ticket. It can carry the number to the other side. It's like Canadian and US, right?
Okay.
This line is the border.
Yeah.
So they both get negative. So the 1 will get to the bottom, 2 will go to the top. So they swap place. Yeah. But if you already have your way, right? If it works, just use your way, right? Next one will be 0. So answer is 8. Okay, so now you have the pattern, right? Negative 4. And then 2, right? Ratio is
Negative 1 over 2.
Yeah. Every time you cut in half and times negative. Times negative half, times negative half, times negative half.
Wait.
Huh? Doesn't work?
No, it works, but.
Questions?
When I'm using the bracket,
Uh-huh.
the answer
Could be.
could be, but it's not.
Like 98% of the time they make the question normal, right? Then you can see, this is the number. But sometimes it's tricky, okay? Let's see. Do you want to see a tricky one? Number 3.
Do I have to do it?
That's B, not 3.
You could
B.
show us the.
Okay, I could show you the tricky one, but you got to tell me the answer.
Okay.
What do you think T1 is?
Oh, 3 over 4. 3 over 4.
T1 is 8.
1 means a square, right? So 1 over 4, right? 1 over 4 times 3. Agree? 3 over 4? Okay. Now let's do T2. T2 means n is 2. So now it will be 3 minus 2. So this will be half. 3 over 2. Okay, how do I go from here to here?
Multiply 2 by 2.
Times 2, right? Is it divided by 2 or times 2? Right, getting bigger, right? So every time I will times 2. So the next one will be, so what's the ratio then? 2 is not half. Okay? But that rarely happens, right? Most of the time. So don't take a chance, right? Most of the time is the number in here. But there's a 2%, right? It could be like something else.
Jason, he's like.
Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, so the best way, the most guaranteed way is to write out the terms, okay, to get the ratio. Okay, so now let's move on to the main thing, right? So next page. We have some formula because it has a pattern, so there should be a formula. What's this? What's this?
It's stairs.
Stairs. Okay, so stairs is going to help you understand where the formula come from.
They're not stairs.
Okay, so there are 5 numbers. Okay, so I want you to put the numbers in 3, 6, 12, 24, 48. The last number here, Jeffrey, write it down, please. This one is T5. This one is T1 or A, right? A or T1, okay? I will write both. Some textbooks they use T1, some books use A. What's the ratio here?
3, 2.
Okay, so on right, draw with the little green, okay? So times 2, right? And so on, okay? So
Gray or blue?
green.
That looks gray.
It's green.
Am I colorblind?
Whoa, wait, it looks a little gray.
A little bit gray,
I can
yes,
see fog. It's
yeah. Yeah.
You mean the dress?
That is so gray.
It's camel green.
It's camel green. Okay, now I see green.
That's what was dress.
Hey, there we go. That's green.
Okay. Okay, can we get back to here now? So if I want to climb the stairs and get to here, starting from 3, okay, I need to times it by 2. How many times?
16.
16 times. Times 2, 16 times to get to here.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense? Okay. So I'm going to write that. Jeffy, what are you talking about? 48 is same as starting from 3, and every time you multiply by
6.
no, 2, how many times?
5. 4.
4 times, right? We count the stairs. So let's figure out what each part means. This is T5. This is A. 2 is, what's a 2? Ratio, right? And then 4 is the number of steps, right? If there are 5 numbers, then 4 steps, right? If there are 11 numbers, 10 steps. So it's always 1 less than whatever this is, right? So it'll be 5 minus 1. Does that make sense?
Wait, what?
Okay, I'm saying.
I'll say one more time, okay?
No, I get it.
Because there are 5 numbers. So how many steps to get there? How many steps? 4, right? It's like 5 fingers, right? How many space in between?
7.
4, right? If there are,
Are you high?
no outside, just yeah.
Can you just write T and then the 10 minus 1?
Yeah, so we're gonna write the formula, right? This is for T5, right? So the formula, if it's for any numbers, right, Tn, will be A times R to the
And over.
n minus 1. So this is our formula number 1. Okay, fill into the blank up there. So Jeffrey, did you learn a second formula? Yes. Then better pay attention.
是天纯，我那是阴产，然后那个天。
Oh,
You are more picky than I am, eh? I thought I'm picky enough. Good. So we're gonna try this formula, okay, for a couple questions, and then we'll talk about second formula. So please do question A first, okay? We'll start with something easy. We want to find T what? T10, okay? So put into your formula,
Oh
okay? The 10th term fill in. A means the first number. R is the ratio, okay?
no.
Okay? Next.
I was like looking for the letter.
Easiest.
you okay?
Yeah. No. Oh, no, no, use calculator. Are you kidding me?
It's the same thing.
I don't know how to use this calculator.
Okay, let's see. Alright, we'll fill that in. A times ratio to the n minus 1. A is 2. What's our ratio here? Jesse,
Sorry, no, I don't know how to use this calculator.
do you want to use mine?
No, I didn't give it back last week. I forgot to give it back.
Okay. Nicole, what's the ratio?
I instantly got 4.
Quiet down, please.
Yeah, sure.
What's the ratio? How do you find ratio? Which term divide by which term?
-1 over 2.
Yeah, that's it. That's your ratio. Okay? Second divide by first, or third divide by second, right? Next divide by previous.
What?
And then n, what's our n here? 10. So 10 minus 1. Get it? You fill in the blank. Yeah, and that will be 9, right? Here's a question, can I take 2 times negative half? Can I take 2 times negative half first? We should do what first? Exponent, okay? Follow the bad math.
-1 over 500.
To the 9. Okay, I can do that in the head. Who can tell me? What's negative half? The
Oh.
9.
-1 over
256. Oh no, 512. 512.
512. Positive, negative.
-8.
So answer is
Negative 1 over 256.
yeah, 2, 5, 6. Any questions? Yeah, but after reduce,
Yeah.
right? Okay, let's do something with decimals. Can we not?
Oh no.
C, come on. You can do it.
No. No.
You have calculator. Why are you whining?
About that.
It should be the calculator that's whining, not you.
No.
In that object, you cannot complain. Yeah.
Don't you have any imagination?
What's that? 1.2 to the power of 4
Couture.
Why was it so tiny?
12.8 12.83984.
This number is too big.
You can't beat this. You can't beat those jokes. You can't. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?
Take the next one divide by
Doing my work.
You know how to read that?
Go later.
Why did you do that? Why did you
Yes, it really means that there are 10 that
right now.
No, yeah, it's 132 divided by 9.
Got it. 14.12. Is it 14.12? Almost there. Let me write it. Your answer first. 14.12. Anyone? Yeah.
You flipped it!
Huh? Brandon?
You said 1.32 divided by 1.1, 1.1 divided by
Oh, okay. Has to be next divided by previous. So first term is 1.1. 1 point what? 2 to the
12, 14.
14, right? 15 minus 1. So you plug into the calculator. Okay, 14.12. Easy, right? First formula is very simple.
Sure. For the fact that you're saying that, we know it's more.
Okay, what's coming up, right? Okay, so for this one, Jeffrey, ready for the second formula?
I seen it, I just don't do it.
Huh? What's the second formula then?
T
Okay.
plus
Okay, so
1.
the first formula, if you want to use it, listen up, okay? If you want to use the first formula, you must know the first term. You must have the ratio, right? And of course, you need to know which term you want to find, the place, okay? But sometimes that's not the case, right? Life is not perfect. For example, like this one, do you know the first term?
Yeah, no, but you could pretend T2 is the first term by just making it T1 and T7.
What? Repeat the first sentence.
What you can make it so T2 is
Pretend.
pretend. So you do have an imagination.
And then T7.
Okay. Yes. So we're going to pretend our first term is not the very first term, right? It's the second one. So we are going to use that idea and then try to derive a second formula. Okay. So pretend we don't know the first term. So we are starting from, let's say, the second term. Okay, write it down. Okay, it's back to the original page. I want to still get to 48. But instead of starting from 3, I start from second term. Which one is second term? 6. Christy? Okay. I start from 6, and then every time I will climb the stairs from 6. How many times?
4.
1, 2, 3. I just need 3 steps because I'm starting from a higher place, right? So times 2 each time, but only do it for 3 times. Let's check, okay, see if it works. What's 2 to the 3?
48.
8, right? 8 times 6, 48, right? They're equal. So now let's turn it into symbols. This is still T5. What's a 6? T2. What's the 2? R. Now because it's from the second one to the 5th one, we get 3 steps. Right? So if it's the second one to the 10th one, it will be 8 steps. Right? So how do you get the steps? Yeah, you minus the 2 of them, right? The 2 places. Okay? So 5 minus 2. So let's write it down in general, okay? The formula. So if it's Tn, this is the last term, okay? and I begin with any term I want. Okay, so we call that Tn. Yeah, your starting term. Okay, n minus n.
Okay, it's still the same form.
Yeah, the same format. So if I want to make this formula become this, what do I need to do? If I want to make this become this formula, what do I do?
Make Tm to A.
I need to change which number?
M to 1.
Yeah, I just write 1 here, right? N minus 1 become that, right? T1. So this formula is inside here. Understand? Okay? So you just have one formula actually. So go back to the top. Tn equal Tm times R to the n minus n. This one I need you to write some meaning, okay? Write its meaning. This last term. This is the starting term or beginning term, okay? R, John, what's R?
R would be
Yes, okay. So everybody should know the R, so I'm not writing that. What's the N?
Last per number.
Last place, okay? So it's the we're using the word place. Last place.
Are you touching? It's not even.
This one,
Starting point.
starting place. Yeah. Okay. So let's try a couple questions before the break. Everyone got it down? Okay, so we're gonna try the first question on the next page.
First question, next page.
What?
Don't remember, don't do it. Sure. My friend provided it.
Oh.
Any question on the formula?
Social.
Question A on the next page. Okay, we'll move on to the next page now. So you will always have 5 blanks, okay? And then one of the blank is the unknown. Think about which one is the unknown and what to fill into other blanks. Okay. No, we're not going to. What is the one? Yeah. So that means you should have everything. This one is the last term. So which blank is the missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one?
R.
Yeah.
R.
So you should be able to fill in everything else. So make sure you put in the right number, the term, the place. Don't mix them up.
You can't.
Term and place.
I don't know how to do without.
Oh, okay, that's the point.
Have you seen this one, Mom?
Is it super cost?
Yeah, it's okay. It's just simple, right? But the idea is the same. Okay, what goes into the first blank? Anybody? Who can tell me what's the first number? -15. Very good. Right, last term. Okay. And then starting term is 480. And then next one, 7 last place, beginning place, right? Starting place. Okay, term and place. So let's simplify it. What do we do to find R? By isolated. Yeah, both sides divide by 480. Simplify it, okay? Don't use decimal, simplify it. Reduce the fractions.
Oh, it's not a plus minus.
Yeah, we did the same.
Huh? Okay, so how do we get rid of the little 5?
Five root.
Fifth root. Fifth root of it, right?
I'm sorry.
When we do fifth root, do we need to put plus minus?
No.
When do we need plus minus?
When it's even.
Even number, okay? Well, I want you to write that on the side. If exponent is even, you put plus minus root, okay? So this one is odd, we don't need plus minus. What's the fifth root of 1 over 32?
1 over 2, negative 1 over 2.
Yeah. So that's the ratio. Okay? Is that easy? Okay. If you have no question, we'll have a break.
Oh my God.